Right at this very moment, your brain is shrinking. And no, it's not because of your age, and it's definitely not because of your genetics. Believe it or not, and this is based on some truly fascinating new neuroscience, it is shrinking because of what you aren't chewing right before you go to bed. Seriously? Every single night that you skip this specific nighttime routine, a tiny piece of your memory literally just slips away. You know the feeling, right? Names disappear right in the middle of a sentence. Basic words completely vanish, or you find yourself walking into a room and standing there, completely forgetting why you even went in. It is incredibly frustrating. But here is the most terrifying part of this whole situation. Most doctors will just hand you a glossy little brochure and tell you that memory loss is just a normal, unavoidable part of getting older. But the source material we are looking at today reveals a completely different reality. These symptoms, they aren't natural. Your brain is essentially starving. It is begging for very specific nutrients during its most critical repair phase, which is when you sleep. Before we begin, subscribe to @Dr. Health Explained for evidence-based health insights. Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the nighttime brain shrinkage, followed by acetylcholine and memory loss. Then we'll count down the top brain foods from 7 to 4, and then the heavy hitters from 3 to 1. Finally, we'll cover the 30-day memory routine and wrap it all up with the results and final summary. Section 1. The nighttime brain shrinkage. Now, to understand how to fix our memory, we first have to figure out what's actually going wrong under the hood. So many people over the age of 60 live in absolute terror of losing their memory. Forgetting the names of their grandkids, missing important appointments, or just constantly fighting through this thick brain fog. But what experts are seeing over and over again is that in many, many cases, this is not some incurable disease. It is literally a severe lack of specific dietary materials. And honestly, that's an incredibly comforting realization, because your brain isn't broken. During the day, you use your brain, sure, but it's at night, while you're asleep, that the brain actually clocks in for its repair shift. It sorts through the day's events, decides what to keep, what to toss, and what to securely file away into your long-term memory. But if it doesn't have the exact right fuel for this nighttime shift, well, the whole system just breaks down. Section 2. Acetylcholine and memory loss. So, what's the actual biological mechanism causing this breakdown? It all comes down to a very specific, absolutely crucial chemical in your brain called acetylcholine. Think of acetylcholine as the master filing system for your memories. When you have plenty of it, you can instantly pull out a name, a face, or a past event perfectly. Snap, just like that. But as we age, our natural production of this chemical drops. And when your acetylcholine levels fall too low, your memory drawers effectively get stuck. You try to open them and they just won't budge. And this brilliantly illustrates the core issue. Studies show that between the ages of 60 and 75, your acetylcholine levels can plummet by a staggering 45%. Wow, that is nearly half of your brain's memory capacity suddenly compromised. This is exactly why we need to step in and intentionally supply the brain with the raw materials it needs to rebuild those connections while we sleep. Section 3. Top brain foods, 7 to 4. Which brings us to the most actionable part of our explainer. Based on the source data, we're going to count down the exact top 7 foods you need to be eating before bed to fuel this repair process. Let's kick it off with number 7, pumpkin seeds. Just a small handful of these guys gives you essential magnesium, iron, and zinc. And the magnesium is absolutely key here. Without it, your brain really struggles to convert short-term memories into long-term ones. Just make sure to eat them raw, unsalted, and unroasted. Next up at number 6, we have walnuts. I mean, it's no coincidence they actually look like tiny brains, right? They are packed with omega-3 DHA, which is a fat that literally makes up a massive portion of our brain tissue. Try to eat about 4 to 6 walnuts before bed. But here is the trick. Leave that thin, bitter brown skin on because it's loaded with antioxidants. Oh, and you absolutely must chew them thoroughly to release all those nutrients. Moving on to number 5, tart cherries. And to be clear, we aren't talking about sweet cherries or the sugary canned pie filling, but natural tart cherries. They are one of the very rare natural sources of melatonin. And melatonin isn't just a sleep hormone. It acts as a powerful antioxidant that protects your delicate brain cells. Snacking on about 20 to 25 frozen or dried tart cherries before bed is ideal for boosting your episodic memory. Then, coming in at number 4, almonds. Almonds are absolutely packed with vitamin E. You see, at night, your brain fires up an active cleaning system to flush out all the daily toxins. Without vitamin E, this intense cleaning process can actually accidentally damage surrounding cells. Eating just 8 to 10 raw almonds before bed can slow memory decline by an amazing 41%. If you're finding this helpful, please like and share this video. It costs absolutely nothing, but it makes a huge difference in making sure these science-backed insights reach the people who need them the most. Section 4. Top brain foods, 3 to 1. All right, now we're getting to the heavy hitters. These top 3 foods have the most profound, scientifically documented impacts on nighttime memory repair. At number 3 is dark chocolate, but wait, it has to be over 70% cacao. It contains this amazing compound called epicatechin, which boosts something called BDNF in your brain. Now think of BDNF as high-powered fertilizer for your mind. It actually helps grow brand new neurons and strengthens connections. About 30 to 40 grams a day is perfect. Just don't mix it with milk because dairy completely blocks the absorption. At number 2, and this might surprise you, is the kiwi. Kiwis are packed with specific compounds that help your body build serotonin. And serotonin isn't just about making you feel happy, it is absolutely vital for pushing you into deep REM sleep and stabilizing your memories. Eating 2 ripe kiwis about an hour before bed will do absolute wonders for you. So the crucial point is, the number 1 ultimate memory food, and it might really shock you, it's raw garlic. Okay, I know exactly what you're thinking, but the science here is just undeniable. Raw garlic produces a powerful enzyme called allicin. But here is the incredibly strict rule you have to follow. You cannot cook it, and you cannot just swallow it whole like a pill. You have to eat a small clove, completely raw, and you must chew it or crush it in your mouth to actually activate that allicin. Now, why on earth would you go through the trouble of chewing raw garlic right before bed? Because of this specific number. A massive 2022 study showed that older adults who regularly consumed raw garlic saw their memory recall speed improve by an astonishing 63%. 63%! That activated allicin goes straight to the brain's hippocampus. Once it's there, it flips a genetic switch called NRF2, which suddenly floods the brain with its own natural, highly protective antioxidants. It is literally a game changer. Section 5. The 30-day memory routine. Now, all of this science is amazing, but it really only works if we put it into a practical plan. How do we actually combine these foods into a routine that is doable in real life? Let's walk through a super clear, structured schedule that you can literally start tonight. It is all about the timing. During the day or in the early evening, use the almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, or tart cherries as your go-to snacks. That builds up your base brain nutrition. Then, exactly 1 hour before you plan to sleep, eat your 2 ripe kiwis to trigger that serotonin for your REM sleep. Finally, 30 minutes before your head hits the pillow, chew that small clove of raw garlic. And hey, here is a fantastic pro tip. Immediately follow that garlic with your small piece of dark chocolate or even a tiny dab of honey. It perfectly masks the strong garlic taste while still giving you that awesome BDNF boost. Section 6. Results and final summary. Okay, so if you commit to this, what exactly is going to happen to you? Now, you aren't going to wake up tomorrow morning suddenly having a photographic memory, but the timeline of cognitive improvement here is incredibly predictable and super exciting. Let's move to and see how this builds over time. Within the first 3 to 5 days, the very first thing you're going to notice is much deeper, way more restful sleep. By day 10, that heavy brain fog starts to lift, and you'll feel significantly sharper focus and concentration. Right around the 3-week mark, those stuck memory drawers we talked about, they start to open. Names, dates, and details will come to you so much easier. And by 30 to 45 days, you are looking at real, functional, lasting changes in your everyday memory performance. But beware, because you can easily sabotage this entire process if you aren't careful. The source data points out 3 critical mistakes you must avoid. First, as we emphasized, never cook the garlic. Heat completely destroys that active allicin enzyme. Second, do not just swallow these foods without chewing them completely. Chewing is the physical action that unlocks the minerals and activates these compounds. And finally, avoid alcohol, excess sugar, and heavy meals right before you go to bed. Those things will completely hijack and block the brain's nighttime detox cycle. So what is the biggest takeaway from our explainer today? It's simply this. Your brain is not inevitably failing just because you are getting older. It absolutely has not lost its ability to heal, to clean, and to rebuild. It is quite simply waiting to be fed. It just needs the right raw materials at the exact right time so it can actually do the night shift work it was perfectly designed to do. You have the power to start chewing your way to a sharper, vastly healthier brain, and you can start doing it tonight. Commit to this routine for just 30 days and just watch how your mind wakes back up. Think about it. If a simple little clove of garlic could give you your mind back, what is stopping you from taking that first bite tonight? Subscribe to Dr. Health Explained and turn on notifications for more science-backed health content. Thank you so much for learning with us today.